In the most recent episode of Superman and Lois, a major new character caused chaos, and it appears that the DC series Brainiac has finally arrived. With every new episode, the cast of Superman and Lois Season 4 keeps expanding in intriguing ways. The live-action DC TV series manages to add intriguing characters in its last season, despite having a smaller budget than previous seasons, which results in the occasional appearance of characters like Lana Lang and John Henry Irons. That someone like Jimmy Golson could make an appearance in Season 4 makes me pleased. I was able to see that, even though this is the final season of the Superman series, significant characters might still make their debuts thanks to Olsen's Superman and Lois premiere. In Season 4, Michael Cudlitz's Lex Luthor finally gets to shine, solidifying his position as the best antagonist in the series. Doomsday also played a significant part early on in Season 4, and Luthor had a few henchmen influence the plot for a few episodes. However, Superman and Lois Season 4 Episode 8, which had the largest enemy in connection to Lex Luthor, was just released, and I thought it was fantastic. In Season 4 of Superman and Lois, Milton is a strange individual. Some of the season's major events have been attributed to the villain, such as the construction of the box that might contain Superman's heart, or the invention of the red street lamps powered by the sun that let Lex Luthor and Clark Kent square off. Milton finally made an appearance on screen in Superman and Lois Season 4 Episode 8, following numerous episodes of teasers. Nikolai Witschel from Riverdale portrays the role. Milton is Brainiac, in my opinion, based on his name, experience, and DC Comics legend. One of Brainiac's incarnations in the comics is Milton Fine. Amanda McCoy claimed that Milton was a brainiac for having invented the box that could contain Superman's heart, which made the prior teases that the character was the show's version of the classic DC villain on Superman and Lois a bit too obvious. From the first time he stepped onto the screen, Milton immediately established himself as a valuable member of the TV series. When the character was able to deceive Steel and Starlight and then hack their suits for Lex Luthor, it demonstrated his brilliance. Although Milton appears to be as intelligent as I would anticipate Brainiac to be in the DC series, there is currently no hint that this iteration of the character will be revealed to be non-human prior to the conclusion of Superman and Lois. Brent Fletcher, executive producer of Superman and Lois, even went the other way, telling comicbook.com that the DC series portrayal of Brainiac is a completely different version of this guy. Fletcher also mentioned how the villains in Superman and Lois frequently do that, and I believe that's a fantastic pattern. Ali Alston was a completely separate parasite from DC Comics. Lastly, compared to almost all live-action Luthor adaptations, Michael Cudlitz's portrayal of Lex Luthor is more terrifying and poses a greater physical threat. Having a human Brainiac adds something novel and fits with that refreshing trend. I hope we see more of Milton before Superman and Lois Season 4 concludes, regardless of whether he becomes a comic book-accurate Brainiac with green skin and all, or stays human. Milton has already established himself as a unique, dynamic, and perceptive adversary in just one episode. Lex Luthor will require Milton's assistance to ensure that everything proceeds as planned, because he intends to eliminate Superman and his two boys. Steel's armor was hacked by Milton, who then turned it into Lex's iconic warsuit. In order to assist Lex Luthor in trying out the suit for the first time, I anticipate that the character will return for at least the upcoming episode of the DC series. Interestingly, in Superman and Lois Season 4, Episode 8, Milton did not comply with Amanda's commands. A full-on Brainiac disclosure that turns him into a big antagonist for the show's climax would be a welcome surprise in my opinion, as there is a possibility that the character has some hidden agendas. Nevertheless, I believe Milton will probably stay the same, which is sufficient for Superman and Lois.